All right. So, okay. Diane is a Gemini sun with a lot of earth and some water influences in my chart. Any extra it fucking sucks. I want to do this right now. But anyway, let me bring the mic closer because I'm not going to let that stop me from doing what I need to do, right? All right. So, any extra advice or insights on female Gemini, male Pisces who are connecting and spending time together? So, yes, Diane, I do have some tips and pointers for you based upon this of what you've communicated to me. So, first thing I want to say is because you have some earth and some water influences in your chart and you're already an air sign, what this tells me is that you have a deficiency of fire. Now, I could be wrong, but you did not mention anything about fire, so I'm going to assume that you have little to no fire inside of your chart. So what I would first say is maybe perhaps that's a concern of yours since you mentioned it. So these are things that you could or should do in regards to that is like play an instrument, play the trumpet, play the trombone, or play a horn instrument, or play the drums. All right, one of those types of instruments. Also, dance, take up dance, ballet, exercise, take up any type of exercise. Do it fluently. Exercise your upper body at that. Like do curls, do work on your arms, work on your chest, work on your neck, work on your shoulders, all upper body, your upper back. Increase your intake of iodide, right? L-arginine, use that. First, consult a physician so that you can get the okay to actually use that. L-arginine is a supplement that actually increases the circulation of blood through your body. These are all things that I'm telling you could do to increase the fire inside of your life. All right, since you lack it, you do these types of things, which are pretty much air, earth, and fire constructs that I'm telling you to do. However, when you do this, it increases your fire element in your life and your vitality. Anything else? Burn incenses and stuff like that. Wear red clothes. Wear red stones if you are into jewelry and stuff like that. Wear red stones. Like burn incense, burn lava lamps and stuff like that inside of your apartment. Do things like that. Tonics. Okay, so now let's get to this whole you being a Gemini female, your spouse being a Pisces male. Now, because if you participate in those types of things, interestingly, Pisces will show more attraction to you. Well, interest is what I'm saying. Not really so much attraction, but interest, because things dealing with the arts, dance, music, and stuff like that, Pisces is just adores that stuff, right? So if you start taking up dancing classes or ballet or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It could be twerking, whatever, you know what I'm saying? A Pisces is going to be like, oh, he started doing all that, you know what I mean? Pisces is going to be entertained by that and show interest in that, right? But here nor there, besides that, right? This may not necessarily, like practicing or applying more fire to your life may not be the actual missing element of your Pisces partner life or compatibility with you. So what I'm saying is this, right? Like some people in astrology, they'll say, oh, I'm attracted to my partner because they possess something that is the total opposite of me. So what they're finding is more of an interest in their partner because they're doing something that is different than what they usually do. Does not always mean that you're going to be compatible. You know what I'm saying? It just means that, okay, you don't like to be bored with the same stuff. So you got a partner over here that is entertaining to you because they do something totally left and opposite of what you do. And then you have your other types of couples who are just like, I can't get with this person or I can't stay with this person because we're not alike. Like we're not compatible. You know what I'm saying? So if you find yourself in a situation like that, a lot of the times it could pertain to where certain planets are inside of your chart, which makes or breaks the relationship or compatibility. So For men, right? He's going to be like, look to find out where your Pisces Venus is. Okay. Now I should possibly make a gender video to explain to people, like, gender doesn't really have as much significance in astrology as people may attribute to it. But it's like this: the more feminine qualities, and when I say feminine, I mean inward, introspective. Those types of qualities are more associated with the planets Venus and the Moon, while your more masculine, which I mean by aggressive, outward, external characteristics and attributes, are assigned more to Mars and the Sun. So, for if you look in your Pisces chart and you find out that their Venus is in Aquarius, or their Venus is in Gemini, or their Venus is in what's the other air sign? Libra. However, if their Venus is inside of Aries, or their Venus is inside of Capricorn, you may see them be attracted to other women who possess those signs, or a sign inside of that earth or that fire element, right? So, this no offense or a jab at you, but you may like go into a store and you may see your Pisces man like click with a clerk in there just a little bit too closely, you know what I mean? You're like, what's all that about? And she may be a Capricorn and he may have Venus inside of Capricorn, and that's really what that's all about. You know what I mean? But it doesn't always have to be so closely associated to Venus being the female. Venus qualities are more interactive. So you notice about women, like, they talk more than men do, right? It's just like, hey, what are you doing? How's it going? Where are you going to be over here? When women interact, it's much more different. It's much more intimate, right? But men, and this is not all men, right? But a lot of masculine energy is just like, I want to sit in front of the TV. I want to watch football. I want a beer. I want a blowjob at halftime. Get away from me after that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, that's that narrowed, focused characteristics that are attributed to masculine energy, right? So this type of person may have a sun inside of the fifth house, right? Or Mars inside of the fifth house, which is just like real, like, you know, guys punching each other in the dick type, stupid type, goofy football shit going on, right? But it's just like a whole bunch of masculine energy associated in one area in their chart, which makes them behave that way, right? However, at the same time, like, I know an Aries that has Sun and Mars conjunct in a particular house. She exercises more than I do. You know what I'm saying? She works out more than I do. She's in the gym more than I am. You know what I'm saying? So those masculine characteristics are associated to her more than they are in some men. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. So I like to kick it with women. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather kick it with a chick than before I go to the Jets game. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm still a guy, though. You understand what I'm saying? But I've also seen how Mars and the Sun plays out to correspondence or interaction with men as well. Like, I got Mars in the 12th house, for example, right? So, like, I can walk inside of a room and I'm more attracted to the guy who has age or wisdom on them. And he might be the frailest person in the room as well. You know what I'm saying? Because Mars inside of the 12th house, it's like your energy dissipates. Like, as soon as you get it, it just like goes. You know what I'm saying? It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. It could be very draining. Your energy can get drained rapidly inside of the 12th house. Now, if you have other types of planets there conjuncting it or, you know, aspecting it, then you may do fare better. But for the most part, Mars is more associated with the men. So if you got like Mars inside of Pisces, for example, then you're going to be highly attracted to Pisces men. Or even if it's in Scorpio or Cancer, you're going to be highly attracted to Pisces men somewhat as well, depending on the decadent that it falls in. You understand what I'm talking about? Jupiter, the same thing. Wherever Jupiter is, the more husband archetype, the provider type, you may not be as physically attracted to where Jupiter is inside of this man's chart, but you'll be more attracted to the wisdom, to the leadership qualities, to the carefree knowledge spirit, to the higher learning associated with this guy. You understand what I'm saying? So the Jupiter might be inside of the sign of Pisces or a water sign, which makes you so attracted to your mate. But you will want to find out where these planets are so you have a better idea on where you guys can, where you do click at or where you can click. Now, let's say the Jupiter or the Mars doesn't fall where you actually need it to be. You know what I'm saying? Then in that case, this is what I've learned in my experiences. Look at where the sign of your partner is inside of your natal chart. Get what I'm saying? So for me, let me use myself as an example so I can break it down. For me, when I was dating Gemini women, right, I've noticed something that whenever they would come see me in my community, we'd hit it off. But if they ever asked me to come to their community, I'd be like, I'd find a way to fucking not make it or some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's because Gemini rules the third house, right? So one thing that I look at first is where their sign is at in my natal chart naturally. So Gemini naturally rules the third house. So I look at my third house. What's in my third house that makes that type of interaction happen that way, right? That way I favor this over that. And Scorpio's in my third house. You know what I'm saying? So if you come see me and we're having sex, then it's all great, Gemini. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, other than that, I'm not in my comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. My Scorpio is in my third house. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, I noticed we differed, or we had a discrepancy, because when they would come see me, I'd be doing research. Like I'm a researcher too. So if I'd be doing research and they'd be like, yo, I'm around the corner, whatever the case may be, I'd be like, yo, why'd you come now? You know what I'm saying? Or why you didn't tell me you was trying to come, or that you was on your way, or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm doing research right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't come over and just chill and sit while you're doing that. I don't think that's a good idea. You know how Scorpios can be like, you ain't check with me about this shit first. Like, I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I'm gonna be intensely busy right now, and unless you're doing research and you grabbing these books too, and you like contributing to this, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be around here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh, well, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? But it's a serious type of mood. You know what I'm saying? Scorpio is a sign of research. So I've noticed this is also the learning process, right? Third house, Gemini, learning. You're a Gemini, Ma. If you're not learning with me, we're not going to be compatible on that note. You know what I'm saying? So then I also looked at where Gemini is in my chart, so I could look how to be more closely associated with the Gemini women that I date. And it just so happens that for me, in the solar chart, it falls in my fourth house, which means home. Again, so you come to my community, you come to my home, you're good, Gemini. But if not, deuces, we're just not going to be that compatible. You know what I'm saying? And in my natal chart, it's in my 10th house. It falls around in my midhaven. So Gemini woman, are you doing anything that's associated with my career? Can we kick it like that? Can we consolidate ideas and speak and go to speaking engagements and do what I'm doing right now? Can we do that together on webcam? And can I bring up another screen and have you on the other side and we're talking? No? Okay, deuces, we're not going to get along too great now, are we? And it's nothing personal. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I've learned in my experiences that this is how you can find out if and how you can be more compatible with your partner or whatever the case may be. So my advice to you, I recommend to, one, look at where Mars is inside of your natal chart. Is it in a water sign? This is the type of individual you're going to be more sexually attracted to. Look at where Jupiter is inside of your natal chart. This is going to be your husband archetype, who you're more, you'd probably want to lick their brain. You know what I mean? The long-term relationship will probably be more along the lines of where Jupiter is. So is it in a water sign? You know what I mean? Look there. And so you can determine the short-term and long-term potential of your relationship. And also find those things out about your partner if you can, because then you'll understand them better. You know what I'm saying? And like, you can also work on techniques that will increase your level of interaction, things that are associated with Venus, or your levels of moods and habits and repetition that is associated with the moon, right? Because those are the two celestial bodies that men are attracted to, of those qualities, right? Because they're more feminine qualities. So you could look for that as well. And you'd also want to look where is Pisces inside of your natal chart, your natal and your solar chart, because they both, when applied, will have some type of significance, right? Look at where Pisces is in your natal chart and look at where the 12th house is inside of your natal chart. All right, because you'll find out some things about that as well as about your partner. You know what I'm saying? So use the example that I gave you about how I utilize it with Gemini women, and you should be fine. You should be fantastic. And that's really the ins and outs of it, astrologically wise. Anything apart from that is just probably going to be more psychological, probably going to be based upon preference, which can also be explained through astrology. It's just that you need to know these placements so it can be explained to you so that you understand. All right, hope this helps. I'm out.